Alright, so Dragon Ball Super is out, and the first chapter is up. So, let's talk about this new series just a tiny bit. Personally, I think just by what happened in the first chapter, I'm going to infer that um, Dragon Ball Super is going to jump around a lot in time, um, because I think they're going to lead up to Battle of the Gods, and then they're going to skip after Battle of the Gods. Um, that's just my personal opinion for now. So yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. They start off kind of. I did kind of. I didn't really mind the fact that they started off by recapping what happened at the end of Z, but it wasn't really too necessary. But I mean, it only costs one page, so it's not a big deal. Um, and then of course, freaking Goku driving a tractor as a farmer uh, is just. I don't know how I feel about it. Um, I mean, it does make sense that Chi Chi is, of course, making him get a job. Um, and I do think it was funny how he said, like, maybe Chi Chi is the strongest in the world. Uh, because he's acknowledging that despite the fact that he can kill so many people, he could defeat all these villains, he cannot defeat Chi Chi. Nope, even though he didn't really beat the shit out of her in Dragon Ball. He did win, though. He did win that fight. Um, anyway, Uh, I did like the mental training. I thought that was kind of cool, where he closed his eyes and he was doing a lot of image training, which is a thing in martial arts. So I did kind of like that. And he went Super Saiyan. It was like implying that he would wreck Cell and Frieza with Super Saiyan. Obviously Frieza and then Cell. But when it came to Boo, he wasn't shown defeating Boo with Super Saiyan, which makes sense because obviously he probably wasn't. I mean, obviously he got interrupted first, but I don't think he's able to beat Boo in Super Saiyan. Obviously, I think he can beat him in Super Saiyan 3, but not Super Saiyan. Um, but um, yeah, I mean, obviously Goten is kind of interesting there. So yeah, this is obviously before the 10-year gap. And look at Mr. Satan being very generous. I like that. I do. Mr. Satan being good guy Satan, he knows that Goku did a lot of shit, even though he was really the villain. But I won't go there. I won't go there. Um, but yeah, he knows that. Nah, I'm just kidding about Goku being the villain, but he certainly is not the hero like Vegeta is. I'm just saying. Um, he knows that Goku is a good guy and he really helped out, and he's the one that eventually beat Kid Buu. So he decides to give him a bunch of money. So that's good. Uh, and of course, there's was this in Battle of the Gods? This whole thing with Beerus and destroying that planet. I do vaguely remember. I don't think he destroyed a planet. I don't remember. Um, it's been a while. I haven't seen like the full movie since it first came out in the sub. So, because that movie was ass, but I've seen clips since then, but mostly English dub clips of Goku and Vegeta. Especially that scene with Vegeta was the best scene in Battle of the Gods. It was the only scene that I was like fucking right, where he started beating the shit out of Beerus, even though it wasn't whatever. Back yeah, the last time I saw the full movie was when we were saying Bills, which I still think sounds better, but Beerus is fine, I guess. Anyway, honestly, that's it. I think they're setting up for Battle of the Gods, even though it already happened. And then I think, of course, they're going to start. I think they're going to jump after this. I really do. They might have one more chapter, and then after that. But wait, I'm trying to think. No, Goten and Trunks were still young in Battle of the Gods. So then, in that case, he was training on King Kai's planet. I don't think he didn't have a halo though, right? So yeah, so obviously his mention to wanting to train on King Kai's planet means that he's going to eventually go there when Beerus comes to meet them. So yeah, I think there might be another chapter, and then I think we might jump to after Battle of the Gods. That's just my personal opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the premiere review of Dragon Ball Super with the review of Chapter 1. Now, at this point in time, we still don't know how often these chapters are going to come out, if many at all, but I feel like I should review it because it's Dragon Ball. Gotta review it. Now, this chapter is fairly, simple. It's more so of a reintroduction of certain characters just to make sure, yeah, hey, look, boom, this is what these characters are. We see Goku, he's farming and, has become a farmer in order to make money because Chi-Chi wants him to get a paying job. Then Goten shows up with lunch and Goku's like, while he eats his lunch, and then he's like, no, I'm going to do some quick mind training. So you go, without telling him he's doing actually mind training, but just tells him to, while he's eating, actually, to go and continue, doing farming stuff that Goku was doing. And, after Goku's done eating, he goes Super Saiyan and then does some mind training against Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu. And, while he's, and then he gets interrupted because Goten crashes and is about to fall over a cliff with the tractor, and then Goku saves them, and then Goku talks about how he complains that he wants to train on the the planet of the Kais, but Chi-Chi won't let him because he needs to earn money. And lo and behold, to answer all his prayers, Mr. Satan shows up and says, "Oh, I just came from an award ceremony where I got this, peace prize, and for being a hero, saving the world, and all that." And he's like, they gave me all this money for saving the world, and I'm like, I don't feel right even doing this because you did all the work, so here's all the money. I think it was like a couple hundred trillion. I think it was like 100 trillion zeni or something. Anyway, and the amount doesn't matter. The fact is that he just gave Goku a large amount of money, sum of money that they could basically survive off for a while, which will explain why Goku won't have to work for the rest of this Dragon Ball Super, which is, I guess, important. But anyway, so then at first he's like, no, I can't accept that money. You also were a major part of helping us too, so you should have it. And then Mr. Satan insists, but then Goten reasons with his Goku, saying, if you accept this money, you won't have to work, and you can go train on the Kai's planet. And he's like, sure. So he decides to do that. Then we switch over to Beerus and Whis, who are on a planet, eating food. Because they're offering them food in exchange for not blowing up the planet, but then they are stupid enough to try and poison him, which doesn't work, and he ends up blowing up the planet anyway. And what makes this chapter interesting is the fact that he talks about Super Saiyan God, or something they said reminds him of something called Super Saiyan God and a dream he had. He's like, that sounds familiar, almost as if. Now, what makes this interesting? And then he ends off saying, they're gonna go do whatever, and we see that the Kobito Kai and Elder Kai, have sensed that Beerus is awake. Now, what makes that ending part, this chapter overall in itself is not too much happens, and it's not really that interesting for the most part. But it's that ending that is the interesting part, in the fact that this makes it seem like Dragon Ball Super is going to start off before Battle of Gods, and is in fact possibly going to, start it even earlier than Battle of Gods did. It could also then be used as a means of trying to retell the story or of how the Battle of Gods happened, meaning like Battle of Gods is an alternative way it happened, or this could be like a prequel to Battle of Gods. The first saga might be like a prequel to Battle of Gods, and then we have follow that up with some sort of other stuff. It's very odd as to why they did it this way, but it's Akira Toriyama, and we can only hope that what he plans on doing is good, and that just believe in him. That's pretty much the message I can give. Is that this chapter was kind of okay, and we have to make sure that we just believe in what Akira Toriyama has, and hope it's not another GT. So I hope you all enjoyed this review, and hope to see you when the next Dragon Ball Super chapter comes out.